Hello and welcome back to the State of the Line podcast. I'm your host, Cristine Pike, and today we're doing another 5 questions in just about 5 minutes. I'm joined by NCCI Expert Geena Baldi to talk through the latest installment of NCCI's Industry Drill Down series. Geena, thank you for joining us.
Glad to be here, Cristine.
There is a lot I want to talk about, so let's just jump right in. Overall, claim frequency has been declining for decades. Why is it important to drill down into trends by industry?
While the long-term trend for overall claim frequency has been downward, that overall view can hide meaningful differences. And when you look at the data by industry, you start to see that trends can vary. Drilling down helps stakeholders understand what's driving those big picture results and where patterns may be changing in ways that are impactful.
And Geena, you and your team put together this beautiful infographic. It highlights 4 industries: leisure and hospitality, office, education, and of course, healthcare. We'll link that in the show notes, of course. Let's get started with leisure and hospitality. What stands out there?
Leisure and hospitality up first. So a big driver there is restaurants. They make up more than 50% of that industry. And because of food prep and the inherent risks in that, burn and cut claims are not only more common, they're also less severe when compared to other industries. For example, in 2023, restaurant burns made up 11% of claims with an average total severity of about $19,000. That's compared with 2% and about $66,000 in all other industries. As for restaurant cuts, those represented 10% of claims with an average total severity of about $12,000, compared with 4% and about $28,000 elsewhere.
So higher frequency, but not necessarily higher severity.
Exactly.
How does that compare to office-based industries, let's say?
We're going to focus on clerical-based office sectors right now. Those sectors have seen larger declines in claim frequency than the all-industry average, especially in recent years. One important factor is the increase in remote and remote-friendly work. An estimated 20 to 30% of U.S. workers currently work from home. When fewer employees are physically present at traditional work sites, there are just simply fewer opportunities for many types of workplace injuries to occur. My colleagues Patrick Coate, Valeria Lara, and David Colon wrote a paper that goes deeper into remote work and its impact on the workers' compensation frequency trends. So if you're interested, I definitely recommend that you check that out. As you can imagine, though, office workers have a higher percentage of remote employees than, say, construction or manufacturing. We see a bigger cumulative decline in frequency for those remote-friendly classes compared to all other classes from 2020 through 2023. It's important to note that most of that decline for the remote-friendly classes was due to the large drop from the pandemic. Their frequency changes have been flat since.
And that could be contributing to the larger than average decline in frequency for clerical-based office workers compared to the others. That makes sense. Let's pivot a bit, as education seems to be telling a different story. What are we seeing there?
Education stands out because claim frequency has increased in recent years, aside from the notable drop during the pandemic. One contributing factor is that the struck by or injured by events make up a relatively large share of claims in this sector, about 1 in 5 claims. Those injuries include kicks, bites, and hits. And that pattern may point to an increased exposure to violence in the workplace.
That's a really important distinction and one that we're hearing more about from our stakeholders. If you're interested in learning about workplace violence, we have a 3-part series on ncci.com, and we'll also link that in the show notes. Last question, Geena. How are trends shaping up in healthcare?
Healthcare experienced significant labor force disruption during and after COVID, which can lead to higher claim frequency. Despite that, claim frequency in healthcare has generally continued to decline through 2023, even if the pace had slowed somewhat compared to earlier periods. Trends can change, though, as we all know. And considering the preliminary data that we have through 2024, healthcare frequency appears to be flattening. And that's more in line with our expectations given the continued job growth seen.
You just mentioned preliminary 2024 data. Where can we find the latest information?
We recently released the NCCI Industry Trends Dashboard for authenticated users, and that provides data through 2024 across both NAICS industries and NCCI industry groups. For the first time, it offers the state dimension to these industry-level results. There's so much information included, we could probably devote an entire episode to it.
We sure could, and maybe we will next time.
I'm looking forward to it.
So Geena, every state has a story, right? We always say that. So can we say now every industry has a story?
Yes.
That wraps up our 5 questions in about 5 minutes. And for our listeners, we will link the latest industry drill down resources and the infographic in the show notes. You can find more data and insights on ncci.com. Geena, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, Cristine.
And thank you for listening to the State of the Line podcast. If you'd like to connect with Geena or any of our experts, reach out to insights@ncci.com. We'll see you next time.
This podcast is the copyrighted material of the National Council on Compensation Insurance, 2026. All rights reserved.